Lions and tigers and aliens? Oh my! The Pentagon's UFO Office, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, has released its website, which may contain an image of, quote, alien technology in a metallic ball, according to Hill opinion contributor Marik von Rennenkampff. Is the office sending cryptic alien messages? Joining us now to tell us more is Marik von Rennenkampff. Welcome back.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me back on.
All right, Marik, let's throw this image back up. Tell us what we're supposed to be seeing here. What do folks think that they're seeing, and where does this image come from?
So there's a little backstory and some context here that I'm going to give you guys first. And the first is that Congress is taking UFOs extremely seriously and has set up a 30-person office within the Department of Defense to study UFOs. And the director of that office recently came out and said, I'm quoting, "We are seeing metallic orbs all around the world executing very interesting apparent maneuvers." So guys, I can't think of any kind of metallic sphere or orb that can do any kind of maneuvers, let alone do them around the world. Let's start there. That's a fascinating comment from the director of the government's UFO office. Now, if you look back through history, we can go back to World War II and see that pilots were reporting silvery balls, silver spheres, and they were completely mystified. At night, they became red, glowing, orange, fiery balls that were called Foo Fighters. So this phenomenon has been with us for quite a while. You're seeing that in the B-roll there, exactly. And then if you go through government documents, you see that consistently in the late 40s and into the early 1950s, before UFOs became really a debunking exercise for the government, the most commonly reported characteristics were metallic spheres and elliptical disc-shaped objects. So that's a long way of setting up this little Easter egg that seems to be tucked into a very important new document that is sitting on the government's website. And here we're looking at the most commonly reported characteristics. This is per the US government. And again, we're looking at white, silver, sometimes they're translucent spheres that, if you're reading this, one way to read this is that they are moving at twice the speed of sound or stationary. And this matches reports by naval aviators that they were seeing metallic or translucent spheres hovering stationary or motionless above the ground. So this all comes back to that little Easter egg that's tucked away into this report. It's a stock image, and the title is Alien Technology in a Metallic Ball. What do you make of that, given all that context? I think it's fascinating, but I'd love to hear what you guys think.
I don't know.
I'm really just trying to parse what it is. Can we throw it up one more time, because the text that is accompanying it suggests that.
And these are 4 stitched together images.
So yeah,
exactly.
So each
That's
of
right.
these
That's right.
quarters was found somewhere on the website, and when you put them together, you can see a congruous image, which is evident.
Yes.
Within the 4 things.
So one way to take this is that the director of the office is trying to send a message. You can take that however you will, or it could be some intern playing a prank. Given the totality of the context, and I've pored over old government documents, and it is staggering to see how many references there are to metallic spheres, orbs, highly anomalous stuff. So I'm just putting this into a narrative and applying a little bit of an analytic framework to say, hey, I think there might be a little more to this.
I mean, the image in the sphere almost looks like a building to me, seen from down below.
Oh, I thought
That's
it was
what I
like
saw.
cubicle. I thought it looked like the reflection of the interior of an office with cubicles. That's what I was trying to appear at. Can we see it one more time? I mean, what do you make of what's being reflected in the sphere? Does it seem pedestrian
I'm looking at a
human?
building from outside.
Like, I see you seeing
I'm
that.
not gonna. Guys, I'm not going to read into that too much. I'm going to read into the title, which is Alien Technology in a Metallic Ball. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
This is just a stock image, right? This is just an Adobe. Somebody went online and probably Googled stock images that I have no idea how it got in there, but again, the title is what I'm focusing on.
Well, so should we make the conclusion that someone is messing with good people like you who are trying to approach this subject with some degree of evidence-based rationality, and to prove that the UFO interested people are all kooks who will jump at it will make wild conclusions out of anything we do?
Look, that's a fair read, Robbie. I'll throw another little Easter egg out at you guys. And apparently this office loves to drop Easter eggs. I don't know if we have it in B-roll, but the actual logo of the AARO office, the AARO office, that's the UFO office. Guess what? The O is a big, fat, round silver sphere. And in the below it, there is a little tic-tac shaped object, which is reminiscent of the famous 2004
Yes.
Tic Tac incident with Commander Fravor and 3 other naval aviators. So there are a lot of little Easter eggs that are already baked into this enterprise that is the new UFO office. So look, I'm going to throw this out there. People can make their own judgments, but I find it interesting, and I'm going to draw attention to it at the very, very least.
What about this argument that this interest in UFOs is convenient for a government that might want to get support for growing its military budget, or alternatively provide distractions for less appealing news stories that it might be involved in, and that including Easter eggs like this in its website is a way for it to get what it wants, get public attention, gin up an audience that it knows is looking for these kinds of things, provide exactly that distraction tool, and that a government that was genuinely trying to hide information from the public wouldn't be trying to wink, wink, nod, nod to the existence of alien technology or life.
Well, so I'm going to zoom out. I provide a lot of context for the metallic ball image, but if we zoom out even further, I'm sure you guys are aware of the Senate Majority Leader's legislation that has passed the Senate, that is working its way through Congress and is now being or will be in conference with the House. And that legislation is literally called the UAP Disclosure Act of 2023, and it requires that private contractors who have UFO material to turn that over to the U.S. government. That includes what they call biological evidence of non-human intelligence, alien bodies. And this is in federal legislation, in congressional legislation, and it's stunning. If the American people actually read what's in this, it defines non-human intelligence and mentions that term 24 times, 24 times. So there's something going on here between the executive, which was what we're seeing here, right, and the video of this metallic orb over the Middle East, and what's happening somewhat perhaps in parallel on the legislative side in Congress. So there's something afoot. If the Pentagon wanted to squeeze more money out of this, I'm sure there are other ways to do it. They would be they would be sounding alarm bells. They would be pointing fingers. Hey, look, this is China or Russia. They're not. They're being fairly cagey about this. So I think there are many different ways, or probably better ways, to squeeze money out of Congress for the DoD budget.
Marik von Rennenkampff, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.